Hello, welcome back. In our previous class, we stop at boss. So we want to check it now and continue from where we stop. And just use this one for our design. Then we delete this and go back to our test back. Then this is our test. This is our test. Then we go and give it some background color. Let me give it this. And let me go to my emboss. And then I'll go back to my emboss. Okay, can you see the effect? So let me go and change my font so that you can see the effect. Let me change it to mustard black. Mustard black. So you can feel the effect. So let me now go back to my emboss. So can we see? Let me lighten it. I wanted to lighten it. Let me change this to capture the time. So emboss. I wanted to lighten my text. Then advance intensity. I want to reduce its intensity. Can you see? So ambient light. I wanted to reduce the light. So circularness. Can you see it? So bevel. Let me reduce his bevel to like 8. So let me now go to pass our 3D test. Can you see? Now I can now reduce his depth to 4. So let me go back and give it a stroke, a shadow. Let me give it a shadow, a black shadow. Let me give it a stroke. Can you now see our test? Let me do it like this. Then let me go back to my 3D test. So can you see? Let me give it 3D test. So our depth, let me increase our depth a little bit. Can you see it? Let me increase to this. Let me give it up like. Can you see it? So let me reduce it into a little bit. So if you wanted to give it color, you can come here to give it color. So also, if you wanted to give it gradient, you can come here to give it a gradient. So darken, if you wanted to dark it a little bit, you can come here to dark your text. You can come here to dark it a little bit. So if you want to extrude can you see? Extrude stroke. Can you see it? So 3D oblique angular. Can you see it here? So rotate. You want to rotate. So I'm not rotating. Let me just take it back to our 0. So simulating light. If you don't want light, you just close it. So intensity, I can reduce my intensity a little bit. So shadow, if I wanted to give it shadow, I can give it shadow if I want, but if I don't want, I reduce its shadow. Specular hardness, so I can come here to reduce its hardness. Can you see? I have explained about how we can use our embossing and 3D shape here all together. And okay, this is our test. So after that, after my embossing, we have our perspective. Let's assume I have some text. Let me add text. No? Let me click on my code, and only the educated are free. Let me copy this and change this color to black and change to this to black. Let me change this font also. Let me change this font to Monstera Extra Broad, and I want to give it some perspective. So if I click on this perspective, if I enable it, so anywhere I move my shape, then that's where my text, that's the place where my text will go. And that's why I want to use this. Then if I click OK, can you see how my text change? So we always use perspective to change the mode of our text. Always use to change the mode of our text. Let me just go back and change it to this. And change it to this. So if I click OK, can you see? Here I change that is the function of our perspective. That is the function of our perspective. So let me just go back. So I want to talk about 3D rotate. Let me delete this. Perspective. Let me go back and disable it. So it has come to normal. So we have our 3D rotate. If you want to rotate your text to anywhere, if you want to rotate it upside down, can you see it? If you want to rotate it to the right, clockwise, can you see it? Clockwise. That's the function of our 3D rotate. So you are not using it. I have 3D shadow. 3D shadow, you want to give it a shadow, I just come here. You can increase the shadow here. Then if you want to blur the shadow, you can come here to blur the shadow. If you want to expand the shadow, you can come here to expand the shadow. Can you see it? Since we are not using it, we are going to go back. Then reflection. If you want your text to reflect downward, then you can change it. You can bring it down. You can increase it. If you want to the up, then you change it to this. That's that about our introduction to how you can use our text and how you can use the icon in our text. So that we stop here also.